In today's video, I'm going to share with you how I nail manual focus here in the studio using my full frame camera, the Lumix S5 Mark IIX, and the Sirui 35mm t1.4 prime lens. Now this lens is phenomenal. It looks absolutely beautiful and I love the look I'm able to create in the studio. But it's completely manual focus, and that means I can't use the app on the phone to nail critical focus. I have to do it manually. So how do I do it? Well, the first tip I'm going to give you is to place something in position of where your chin is. In this case, this microphone that I'm not using. That's usually my focus point. So if I set it up with it right under my chin like this, and then I go over to the camera and I adjust focus until that's in focus, I can basically sit in the same position and know that the focus point is going to be good. Now, there's a few other tips and tricks I'm going to share with you to make sure that you continue to maintain focus, because it's easy to go out of focus with a fast lens if I move forward, and it's easy to go out of focus if I move backwards. So what is it that I'm looking at over here? I have a big reference monitor. Now, this is just a computer monitor. It's a 27 or 28 inch monitor, full HD. It's not a 4K one or anything like that. And with focus peaking enabled on my camera, I can nail focus each and every time. Now, I've been using manual focus for years in the studio, and now that autofocus is so good, you might not even feel the need for it. But if you prefer using manual focus or cine lenses, anamorphic lenses, or any other lens that requires manual focus, these tips work a treat. So say, for example, you don't have something like this that you can place in position. If you've got any kids or a dog or a cat or whatever, and they've got some toys, plonk it on the desk in the seat you're in. Now, on my guitar channel, I don't have a desk. I've just got a chair that I sit in, and I place this in exactly the same spot that I sit, and I focus on the face here. And this allows me to nail focus each and every time. And as long as the chair doesn't move, I'm good to go. Now, if you're a bit concerned about maybe you're like nice and animated, you like to move back and forth and all that kind of stuff, then maybe stop the lens down a little bit. Set it to like 1.8 or T2 or F2, and you should be able to get a little bit more leeway when it comes to the focus point. But if you want to really nail T1.4, like on this lens, for example, then this absolutely works a treat. Just know you can't move around too much in the plane of focus. And you might be wondering, how am I monitoring my focus? Well, I'll show you that right now. Focus peaking is a tool that's been around forever. So whether you're shooting with Lumix, Sony, Nikon, Canon, or whoever else, odds are there's a focus peaking option in that camera. I'm going to show you where it is when it comes to the Lumix gear. So I've got my GH7 right here, and just know the menus can be slightly different between some of the newer cameras and some of the older cameras, but you'll definitely find it going all the way back to the Lumix G7, I'm pretty certain. So yeah, just go through the menu and you'll find it. I'll give you a quick indication of where it is. Starting in the video menu, go over to focus and then go to focus peaking and turn this on. Now, from the set menu, you can also change how responsive the focus peaking is. Anytime I'm in the studio and I've got an external monitor hooked up, I like to change the focus peaking sensitivity to 2. It's just nice and easy to see. And depending on the look of your studio, you can change the color from any of the ones that you see on screen. This is great. I usually leave it set to the white one because I've got a blue studio and a black desk or a black mat on the desk here. The white is really easy to see. Now you're looking at focus peaking enabled on my S5 Mark IIX. So this is the same view that I see on my reference monitor. You can see that my face, eyes, beard, and my top are all sort of lit up with that white focus peaking guide. Now, as I move back like this, you can see I'm out of focus and now I've lost focus peaking. But if I bring something back into the correct plane of focus, you can see that now the camera is lit up and I can tell exactly where the focus spot is. And this is great. So I can slide back in, look at my reference monitor, make sure that my beard is lit up as before, and I'm good to go. So yeah, it's a great tool. Let me show you how to nail critical focus. Now, if you don't have a microphone boom arm like this, I'm gonna just show you another tip and trick that you can get exactly the same results. So I'm gonna use this soft toy here. Now, this may require a little bit of fiddling around, but you can just place it sort of off the desk a little bit. I'm gonna go over to my camera here and start to pull focus until the soft toy and the chair look like they're in focus, which is right about there. Just a bit of both is a good starting point. Now what I can do is just go back to the seat here. Boom, first go. Little Boston. I got this as a souvenir. It's my little focus assistant. It works a treat. With focus peaking on, it allows you to see exactly what's in focus. But again, to make your life a whole lot easier, you definitely want to get some sort of external monitor, whether it's a small one like this, or if you've got an old computer monitor that you can hook up via HDMI to your camera it makes getting all of this in focus and maintaining focus a lot easier. You'll always see me kind of glance over at my screen from time to time. Probably not the best practice, but it's just good to know that things are in focus. Now, the benefit of manual focus lenses like this is if you turn the camera off, turn it back on, the lens is manual. It's not going anywhere. So as long as you don't bump the focus point, I can turn this camera on the next day and the focus spot will be in exactly the same position, confirmed by the focus peaking. Now, if you're someone who's shooting outside, for example, and you're not seated at a desk like this where it's a little more unpredictable, you can still do it. And there's a few tricks I'll give you in just a moment. But just know, there's also monitoring tools built into a lot of the modern apps for cameras. So if you're shooting with basically any Lumix camera from like the G7 onwards, they allow you to connect to the Lumix Sync app or the Lumix Lab app where you've got a full preview and portable monitor of what's going on screen. I used to use this all the time when I was shooting with the GH5 and GH5S back in the day, just making sure that I've nailed focus completely. It's really handy. Now, there's a few tips for lining up your shot though. So what I would do is frame a shot with a tree or whatever the case is, wherever I'm at, and then I would also use that as the focus point and then move into frame. Once you get used to this, it works, but if you're still concerned about it, you can break out the phone app and just make sure the focus peaking is on your face. But yeah, it's great having a handy tool like that built into the phone. And again, if you're shooting with a different camera brand, you can still connect remotely with a lot of them based on their own app. I know Sony has a similar thing as well where you can monitor what you're doing from your mobile. So these are great tools at your disposal to make sure that you're nailing critical manual focus. Let's say, for example, I'm outside and I find a park bench to sit on or something like that, and I want to nail focus. What I'll generally do is put my backpack in the position I want to sit, dial in the focus, go back, and it's usually fine. So yeah, just keep those things in mind. Just know focusing at T or f1.4 is a lot harder than say 2.8 onwards. So if you're someone who wants to make sure you're in focus when you're shooting out in the field, just have your aperture set to at least f2.8 if you can, and you'll get more in focus that way. F4 is even better. But it's up to you what kind of look you're going for. You'll just experiment around, but these tips will definitely get you started. Thanks for watching.